Yo, this is Conan. You're listening to World of Wrestling podcast with Tax and Rich. Boom.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rich. Welcome to this World of Wrestling podcast, extra, bonus, excuse, whatever you want to call it. Last week we did episode 36. We broadcast live. Myself and Tax are both here. We did our review of WCW, the chapter 2 of the Hogan Kidman trilogy we've been doing from WCW. That was, what was the actual date of the thing? So the 24th of April 2000. And it was quite a funny episode, to be honest. Lots happened. We had lots to talk about. We even talked about AEW for about an hour in the pod because it was a really long one. And then immediately after we broadcast it, we stop and we go to look on YouTube, and there's the audio from our broadcast is there, but not our microphones. So for some reason, when we switched scenes, it just stopped broadcasting the audio, which kind of sucked. And at the same time, this is the one episode I completely forgot to record backup audio for. Every other episode, every 35 and all the bonus pods that we've ever done have always had some sort of backup audio. But the one time I forget is when this shit happens. So this is an apology. Sorry about that. So chapter 2 is just going to be me recapping it. It's going to be like some sort of solo pod. You know what I mean? I'm essentially going to be wrestling a broomstick here because I haven't got Tax to bounce off of. So just stick with me, and this will catch you up to everything we talked about on the pod. Well, the briefest version possible about what we talked on the pod and this episode. So from chapter 1 of the Hogan Kidman trilogy, immediately after that episode Nitro, we got Spring Stampede from 2000. Jimmy Hart, just Jimmy Hart, was wrestling a match against a guy called Mancow, who's a DJ. After the match, Kidman comes out and briefly attacks Jimmy Hart, because this is the best fucking storytelling ever, sending a message to Hulk Hogan, obviously, because the Hogan Kidman Hart thing going on. This Spring Stampede pay-per-view also had Kidman wrestling Vampiro, who are both in the New Blood. Hogan interrupting the match and throwing Kidman through commentary tables, helping Vampiro beat Kidman, which is all kind of fucked up in terms of heel and face and storytelling. Mark Madden had a great line on commentary that I mentioned that was WCW had nothing to do with wrestling. That's legitimately something he said on a broadcast of WCW Monday Nitro. Hogan goes after Russo and Bischoff backstage, but police arrest Hogan. Chronic debut, the best tag team ever, alongside Russo. And they help Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas to win the tag team straps. Scott Steiner beat Sting for the US strap when Vampiro interfered. They had the whole coming out the trapdoor, doing the whole thing that broke Davey Boy's back and all that sort of bullshit, which kind of sucks. And then Jeff Jarrett beat Diamond Dallas Page for the big gold belt when Kimberly turned on DDP, husband-wife, and hit him over the head with Jarrett's guitar. So that was Spring Stampede. Yep. And then after that, we had the Nitro from the 17th of April 2000, where Hogan and Kidman have a brawl in a car park. Hogan attempts to murder Kidman by throwing Kidman into a giant wheelie bin and then getting a white Hummer. You know, I did it for The Rock. We made that joke about a million times on the pod. And driving the Hummer into the wheelie bin and trying to kill Kidman, essentially crushing him, which was, Russo-esque. Let's put it that way. What else happened on this Nitro? So Jarrett, Booker, Steiner, there was a big mess for the big gold belt. It kind of ended in a DQ when they've relaxed the rules apparently and aren't doing DQs anymore, which is a weird choice, but is what it is. At the end of the show, Hogan chases after Bischoff, and then ends up kicking him in the bollocks. Russo then comes down, but is pushed aside by Bret Hart, who turns up suddenly, who was kind of teased in the first Nitro we did. Who then swings a chair, and as he does it, the camera fades to black, and you don't actually see who he hits, and you're like, some kind of half decent storytelling from the Russo boy here, that's actually quite fun. But then we jump to what this episode was all about, was the WCW Monday Nitro from episode 240, it was, on the 24th of April 2000. So I'm going to briefly run through my notes as fast as possible just to get you up to date and ready for the Slamboree podcast that we're going to be broadcasting live, which will be tomorrow from when I'm recording this. Right, so WCW Monday Nitro, episode 240, 24th of April 2000. Sting and Vampiro brawl backstage, because, we can't start with a match, it's WCW. There's a hardcore title match, Terry Funk and Bam Bam Bigelow. Really weird, as the guys are coming down the ramp, the cat interferes. Terry Funk falls into Bam Bam while wearing a rubbish bin to get the win in about 2 minutes. Yeah, Terry Funk pins Bam Bam Bigelow absolutely clean in 2 fucking minutes. By not even doing a high spot. Literally, he's wearing the trash can over his whole body and just kind of falls over. Boom. And that gets the pinfall, apparently, to Bam Bam Bigelow. Not that I'm bitter. They show the clip of Bret Hart's mystery chair shot from last Nitro. They just show him hitting Hogan, not Bischoff, and that's how they pay it off. And you're like, what? You had this great moment where you faded to black, not showed who hit Bret Hart hit, and then immediately you just cut to a clip of him going, boop, there you go, we know now. You're like, oh, it's kind of funny. There's no tease or tension or anything. It's just really stupid. So Kidman and Tori Wilson come out. Kidman isn't selling the injuries from the homicide attempt by Hogan a week ago. Cozen, he cuts a shitty promo on Hogan where he says this classic line, which is, you bring the yellow, I'll bring the red. Your blood. Yeah. Go, Kidman. So Jarrett, Kimberly, and Bischoff out to the ring. They show David Arquette at ringside doing acting. Kimberly cuts a promo. She wants a divorce from Diamond Dallas Page. DDP jumps Bischoff. Jarrett, Arquette, Canyon all get stuck in. Basically ends up with Bischoff and Arquette set up for later in the night. And then Arquette says this line when he's doing acting in the ring. And he says, if I pin you in the ring here tonight, DDP gets the shot at Jeff Jarrett for the title. Tonight. In the cage, baby. It's like, can you do that, Joey? But yeah, so they set up a tag match. Sorry, the match between Russo and, the match between Bischoff and Arquette. And DDP gets a title shot at Jarrett if Arquette wins. Guess what happens? So there's a mixed tag match after this with Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch beating the Artist and Paisley, who's Charmel, Booker's wife. Super cringy Tammy promo and finish, but she does some really cool high spots. She jumps off the top turnbuckle to the outside. Sting out to the ring. They set up Sting and Vampiro First Blood match for later in the night, because it's Monday Nitro. We need First Blood matches, obviously. Lex Luger and Ric Flair with Miss Elizabeth versus Chronic, so kind of new school, old school, millionaires, new blood. Bagwell and Douglas attack Luger and Flair with baseball bats, because that's all Vince Russo knows. Chronic do the high time double choke slam to Flair at the end for the 1, 2, 3. No disqualifications in this match, because, there's one later which is kind of funny compared to this as well, but it is what it is. So Chronic kind of win the match, we think. Post-match, Chronic attack Bagwell and Douglas with the bats as well, so Chronic are not really part of the new blood from all this, but who knows. There's a drug-fueled Vampiro promo backstage with Mean Gene, where he looks cracked out of his brain, like scary. It's really fucking entertaining if you want to see what the effect the cocaine has on a human, or just pills or whatever it was. Backstage, Bischoff books himself as the guest ref for the Kidman Hogan match at Slamboree, which obviously is going to be the next podcast. So look forward to Bischoff being a guest referee. That could be quite funny. In our big payoff match of Hogan versus Kidman, the big finale, because this trilogy's been so fucking great. The handicap match up next of Mike Awesome and Billy Kidman, our star of the show, versus our other star of the show, Mr. Big Racist Purple Hot Dog Hulk Hogan. So Hogan dominates the match, barely letting the two guys get any offense in, even though it's a handicap match. So Hogan still has to be the domineering force because he's Hulk Hogan. Kidman pins Hogan after some hardcore shit and a leg drop. Madden has a really funny line at the end where he's like, it always finishes the guy. So Kidman does pin Hogan, but it takes two dudes and a chair shot and a blade job by Hogan and all sorts, just to kind of, yeah. So like people, when Bischoff says like, Hogan put over Billy Kidman, and you're like, no, he fucking didn't. Like he lost to Billy Kidman. He didn't put him over. That is very, very different. You can win a match and lose a match and still be over, Anyway, in my opinion. I shouldn't say that on a podcast. It's my opinion. It's my fucking podcast. If you don't like it, stop fucking listening. You know what I mean? Or at least you find it entertaining, hopefully. Anyway, so doing a one-man podcast is weird. I feel like this is a conversation time. Anyway, so Nash takes out Awesome and Kidman on one knee. He comes out like he's all fucked up, but then turns his back so Tori can give him the low blow. It's kind of funny. The New Blood boys fuck up Nash's ankle with a chair and the ring post. Nash sells it like a beast. He's actually really cool here. I'm assuming we're going to have some sort of payoff where Nash comes back to interfere in a Kidman Awesome sort of match, or maybe he's just going to wrestle one of them once he's not injured. So next up we got Arquette, Diamond Dallas Page, and who better than Kanyon backstage. Kanyon gets a phone call. It's really funny. He just suddenly has to kind of like, they're doing the whole walking thing. He's like, oh, sorry guys, I've just got to get a phone call. So yeah, it's good. So Bischoff versus David Arquette. Kimberly, Jarrett, Diamond Dallas Page, all out. Madden has a line about DDP self-high-fiving himself because Kimberly won't do it anymore, which was quite funny. Arquette's wardrobe choice is fucking amazing. It's this velvet, pleather, fishnet kind of cut-out job. Like, oh, it's fucking amazing. Like, really, really cool. Apparently, they develop it into... what did Tax say at this point? I remember him talking about this now. He was talking about how like they've got new gear for Arquette for Slamboree. So, looking forward to seeing how terrible that is. Arquette does Scotty Too Hotty's worm, W-O-R-M thing, but it's really bad and delivers a horrible elbow. Exposes the business because I've just become Jim Cornette apparently. It's all good. So it's not homophobe, so it's all good. So shenanigans on the outside. Jarrett accidentally hits Bischoff with a guitar. Arquette pins Bischoff. So 1, 2, 3. Diamond Dallas Page gets the shot at JARRETT tonight. Right, so we've got lights out. We've got Sting in the rafters doing the whole crow gimmick because they're trying to bring that back because it kind of it's been a long time. In that, what's that, 3-4 years ago that he debuted that gimmick, so it's weird that they're kind of going back to it now. He's been out of the rafters for however many years. Anyway, Steiner Booker segments where Booker grabs one of Steiner's ladies by the throat. Steiner attacks Booker and they kind of have a fight. Russo tells Bagwell and Shane Douglas, who are in street clothes on their way home at this point, that they have to go back out there and wrestle Chronic because Chronic helped them out earlier in the night, but they don't like them and blah blah blah. They're not New Blood. So, not that they explain any of that, I'm just assuming, because I do more explaining than this TV show would ever do. WCW World Tag Team Championship match of Buff Bagwell and Shane Douglas, who are the champions versus Chronic. 2 New Blood heel teams, kind of weird, illogical booking. Russo in to hit Crush with the bat. Schmoz bullshitty finish, hitting everyone with baseball bats, and the ref throws it out. Russo hits the ref with the bat too. Russo counts a pinfall for Bagwell. Can you do that, Joey? But again, Russo, just the only thing he understands is it's got to be a bull shot, a baseball bat shot, or a run-in by someone like as soon as the match starts. There's like the 3 things he relies on constantly, and saying "bro" every sentence. Tank Abbott has a shitty promo segment again, exactly like he had last time, where he comes out, he kind of wants Goldberg, but he's going to beat innocent people up until he does. He grabs Bob Ryder, whoever that is, from WCW.com. I don't know why I did this, but anyway, from WCW.com, and throws a punch. It's amazing because Jeremy Borash, as they call him, that I am doing that deliberately this time, because that's what they call him, Borash, jumps in and jumps on the back of Tank Abbott. It's the best thing in this whole fucking trilogy, I swear. And like Borash is being swung around on the back of Tank Abbott, and he's like, oh, like shitting himself. It's really, really funny. If you watch anything from this trilogy, I'm going to assume, because I haven't seen Slamboree yet, obviously. This Borash segment is fucking hilarious, man. It's really, really good. So Tank, when he goes to the back, when he's walking up the ramp, he's visibly laughing to himself because he knows how funny it was. It's really good. So we get the cage match next for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship between Diamond Dallas Page and Jeff Jarrett. They got the cage with the roof, which is pretty cool, like a proper cage, not the WWE one when you can escape and all that sort of bullshit. We talked a little bit about whether it was beneficial to be able to do high spots off the top by not having the roof, or whether it was to have the more, it's just one-on-one, like cage fighter sort of from WCW's one with the roof, but who knows. We didn't come to any conclusions, as we never really do. We just argue about stuff. It's good. Russo out with Double J, needs to insert himself into every angle because he's a douchebag. The match is basically walk and brawl. There's a really funny moment where Diamond Dallas Page is hiding on top of the roof of the cage when Double J is coming out, and so when Double J gets to the ring, suddenly DDP just kind of jumps off and hits him. It's like blah. It's really funny. So basically it's walk and brawl into the crowd. Mark Madden has the line of the whole fucking show. Seriously, it's so good. He says, "This is incredible." And you're like, I don't know about incredible. We don't wrestle here. We fight. We kill. We resolve our personal issues. And you're like, okay, I see what you're getting at. Wrestling is like an incidental thing. It's like just part of the drama. You're like, why are you doing a wrestling show then? If it's insignificant to the... it's just so dumb. So Diamond Dallas Page and Jeff Jarrett finally into the cage. DDP calls for the Diamond Cutter. Mike Awesome comes out because, again, we have to have an interference. Awesome breaks through the cage door, which is quite a shitty spot, but they time it pretty well. Awesome is in to interfere as Diamond Dallas Page goes for the pinfall. So Canyon runs down and just about stops Mike Awesome from stopping the pinfall as the ref goes 1, 2, 3. But no one notices Diamond Dallas Page pinning Jeff Jarrett because every cunt in the whole fucking building is looking at the interference spot at the entrance to the cage, and they're obscured by the cage the whole time. And so the ref goes 1, 2, 3. Diamond Dallas Page is your new WCW World Heavyweight Champion of this new era, and no one notices. Everyone's just like, "Oh, did he won? Yay!" it's genuinely hilarious how like you can overbook a moment into absolute bollocks. Yeah, it's really, really good. And just horrific. What else? Okay, so yeah, of course we've got a World Heavyweight title change, but we've got a First Blood match to go. So Sting versus Vampiro. Honestly, when this was announced that these two were going to be feuding in this series of trilogy, I was quite excited to see Sting and Vampiro. Two gimmicks I've always kind of enjoyed. There's like a generation exchange, almost like a handshake, like a golden handshake almost, within these two, potentially. But this is WCW, so of course there isn't. So, but this is just crap. Vampiro looks cracked out of his brain, like he's just not here at all. He's somewhere else. Sting drops in from the rafters. Sting's wrestling in the harness that he had for the drop down from the rafters. And we're like, why is he wrestling in the harness? It seems weird. So Vamp rolls to the outside, leaving Sting in the ring, and gives Sting a stare, like, "Oh, I'm a crackhead," and does like the whole throat cut thing, like the Undertaker would do or something. And he goes full carry with the pig's blood from the ceiling, landing on Sting in the ring. So this is the new blood, which falls from the ceiling. And then the new blood, the wrestlers themselves come out, and everyone does kind of slip and slide wrestling in the fake blood. It's really, really funny. Vampiro hooks Sting back up to the cable hanging from the ceiling that he originally came down on. And so Sting is then lifted up about 3 feet off the floor. He just kind of dangles, drenched in fake blood like corn syrup. It's just the best. It's like you understand what they're going for. They go for a man drenched in blood, hanging from the ceiling, the rafters, whatever. But they only lift him like a little bit, and so his like knees are the height of everyone else's heads. It's just like it's fucking embarrassing. It's really, really funny. Is that it? That's pretty much it. So I summed up this show by saying this line that I spent a long time thinking about. This part of WCW in 2000 is a lot like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's taking over at Man United as the manager. It has the element of being new and fast-paced, but it can't last. Soon enough, you're going to have to remember you've got a bunch of spoiled brats in a company ran by selfish morons. It's going to crash and burn. And yeah, so there you go. Tomorrow and every Wednesday from 5, live on YouTube. Then all podcasting apps immediately afterwards if you just want to listen to the audio. Chapter 3, the final chapter of our Hogan Kidman WCW trilogy. We're going to do it live on YouTube, as I said. Just go to worldofwrestlingpodcast.com and you can find links and whatever you need. We've also got some merch as well. You can buy like a nice t-shirt. It's got like a CM Punk branded t-shirt thing. That will really help us out, helps us do more podcasting, and buy lovely little cameras like this and lovely little microphones like this. So yeah, tomorrow, WCW Slamboree 2000, worldofwrestlingpodcast.com. My name is Rich be my name. Check out the Tax Williams as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully you enjoyed this and it's not too much of a disappointment. Bye-bye.